What's going on, everybody? My name's Tyler, and this is Sean. We're Render Reality. Thanks for joining us again, and a huge week for us in VR, man. At least for me, we got a ton of playtime in.
Yeah, we played a lot this week.
I'm super stoked, man. So good. It's been a while since I really got to just crush out some VR time, and not like worry about streaming it or doing things, and just playing. Being that big VR fanboy, and it's been great. It really has.
It's been awesome.
It kind of got me pumped again, man. Like, super pumped. Like, I feel like we had so much new stuff that you and I got to play, which we'll talk about here too.
Yeah.
That people haven't even seen yet, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good stuff.
It's been a big week for news too. I mean, we got a lot of big stuff dropping that we'll get into. We actually have an exclusive game announcement today that nobody even knows about yet that we're gonna get into a little bit, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool stuff, and some big stuff with Half-Life Alyx. I think that's one of my most exciting things of the week. And we forgot to fix your camera for your coffee cup. You still have that see-through coffee mug from last week. We totally forgot. I totally forgot about it, but yeah, I mean, so let's get into some of the stuff that we played this week. I mean, we played a bunch of stuff really all week long, but
we played a ton.
Yeah.
Before we get going, do make sure to sign up for our giveaway for Sinners and Saints that ends tomorrow.
Or Saints and Sinners, whichever one you prefer.
Whatever. I know I always do this.
You can have your choice.
I know. Stop. And after the show, if you're watching us live, we're actually going to be doing a stream of Spaceteam VR, which is one of the things we played, which is a lot of fun.
It's hilarious.
I got in trouble for playing it. We'll explain all that here.
Yeah,
but
it's hilarious.
It was a lot of fun. We can get into that if you want to.
Yeah, let's go and talk about it, because we are going to try to stream it right after the show. And we were playing, so we played this on Oculus Quest first. We both played it on Quest, and then we played it on our indexes as well. So we'll probably stream PC VR because it's a little bit easier to stream than Quest. What's that?
You got footage for it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There shouldn't be any sound, but this is just kind of, this is like one of the first times we went in on Quest, but it's a freaking hilarious game. I mean, it really is. And we've only played with the two of us. We played a little bit at PAX, and it was kind of hard to hear there, but it's going to get chaotic once we get some more people in there, because even with two people, it gets crazy. And if you haven't watched anything about this game yet, I believe this is a mobile game, but it's all about working together, and you have tasks that you have to perform up on the top, and sometimes you have those tasks, sometimes your other teammates have that task, so you have to try to do what it's telling you to do. You have to try to tell the other person what to do while he's trying to tell you what to do.
I'm like crying thinking about this almost right now, but like hilarious. That's why this video is going to look almost like panicky, because it is. And there's so many hard things, because there's just you're going so many different directions, but it's hard because you're yelling back and forth what you have to do. And some of the things you have to do, some the other person has to do that you're telling them. You can't pronounce some of the words.
Yeah, this is the beginning, so it starts out a little bit easy, but
orphan double chloride ball cock engage, and it's like, what? Like, you don't even know what you're trying to read, and you're panicking.
It really is.
And you're getting shot by things all at the same time.
Yeah, sometimes things like you hit the wrong things, your board starts to go crazy, and you got to fix it. I mean, it is insane. And then sometimes your voice actually changes. So sometimes you both sound like these little kids, or you sound like a real deep voice. And sometimes that's hard to understand. I mean, it's crazy. This is like a game that is definitely very well portrayed in VR. You know what I mean? Like, VR really does a good job of taking this game and really pushing the elements, because I've never played this like mobile flat game, but I can't imagine not playing in VR.
So when we were playing too, I actually got yelled at. My wife was upstairs watching TV, and my pretty sound deadening where I'm at. She comes down, she's like, "Why are you screaming?" She's like, "Stop screaming." I'm like yelling at the top of my lungs, like through the headset to Sean, because there's like stuff going on and it's loud and you're trying to yell. It's unbelievable. Just one of those things you have to experience, and so much fun with people. But we are going to be streaming this too after the show.
So make sure to watch for that. I think May 21st is the actual release date, so it's coming up real soon. I believe, if I remember right, you can get 6 people in here, which is going to to So Rizzle Rock filling our coffee cup. You hear that sound?
Rizzle
of the coffee
needs to
cup
play
filling?
this game, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be hilarious. He said, just because this is my safe place. That's awesome. I'm glad we can provide a safe place.
Cheers, man.
Seriously, that's awesome.
We try to, family friendly. We try to be most of the time, but
Some of the words in this game don't sound very family friendly, but there's no like bad words. But like you said, something ball cock, I think, was on there, and like
that's in the
just
game,
ridiculous.
Man.
It's just so funny. It's so hilarious.
Oh, it is too. And like just the random things that happen and stuff. It's just so, and it doesn't stop. So, you know, it goes from round to round to round. So there's no downtime.
I think it's infinite too. I don't think there's any end as far as, if I remember right, they said that it was infinite. It was all like procedurally generated, but it gets hard. I think we were playing on easy and we made it to like level 12 or something, 13 maybe. I can't remember.
No, 18.
18, maybe it's 18. Yeah. It gets so hard though, because I mean, all these things are happening and there's so much going on. It's like, I mean, it's hilarious, but I mean, this is a good party game too. Like if you want to have some, because you don't really have to know a whole lot about VR. Most of it is just, you know, pushing buttons, flipping switches, switching pins around. So most of the controls are pretty simple, but man, this is a hilarious party game if you got a couple headsets or got people far away, you know.
And even when we started, the first couple rounds were like a little tough, and then we kind of figured it out. Like we have to take turns telling each other. And yeah, Alyx VR was saying it is cross-platform. Yep. And you can play on mobile as well. We haven't tried that. I'm not sure. Is it only mobile and local?
I don't know how that works. I'm not sure how that works.
I think it's only local for mobile and headset, but I could be wrong on that. So I would
Steve
love to
XM asked about the price, and I'm not sure what the price is going to be yet. I don't know.
It's fun, man.
Yeah, but it's a ridiculously fun game. It really is. I mean, it's a blast. And I know some people have beta access too. So if some of the people that out there do have beta access, let us know. Maybe we can try to all get in there together.
Teacher?
Yeah, we were going to play with her last night, and once she got my message, she said that she had killed her Quest. The battery was all the way drained, so she's plugging it back in, so she didn't I was
watching her stream of the Room VR too, and I've been wanting to see that, and it looks really detailed. It does look good.
She got into some really creepy levels where she was a little freaked out, and that it's a cool. I haven't played that yet either. I have not played that, but
Star Trek Bridge Crew on steroids. It's way like there's some stuff in this, like there's parts where they make everybody dance.
Yeah, it just came up on the screen, I think. So like everybody has to dance at the same time. Awesome. Tony Digital Saturday Ritual.
Ritual. It's awesome.
It's
man.
my most
and somebody was
ritual.
saying they were watching on TV too. I need to try that. I was showing one of my family members like what we do, because I usually don't talk about, you know, this is my like private life that people I know don't really know about.
This is your private life on YouTube like for anybody to see. I don't know if
that's my alter ego. It's weird if I know people watching.
It is kind of weird. Like old high school friends and stuff, and they're like, "What are you guys doing? You guys are weird." They don't know nothing about VR. Yeah, they probably think we're crazy.
Like VR's for nerds, right? I'm like, sure, leave it to whatever. I don't care. Like,
it's so awesome. But so hopefully we can get in with some more people, because honestly, just the two of us, I cannot imagine what it's going to be like with more people in there, because it is. I mean, there's so much yelling back and forth, and half the time I'm yelling at Tyler trying to get him to do the task that's on my screen, and then I realize, oh, it's on my board, and I'm actually the one supposed to be doing it. I didn't even realize it, but it's complete chaos that is hilarious.
I know. Yep, I agree. It is. It's a lot of fun. I really do want to. But yes, please join our Discord and let us know if you want to jump on with us after. We'll be a good 15 minutes after this show finishes, probably before we get on.
We got to set up. I got to put pants on, and we just have to set up everything. So we should be good to go.
Not fun. But make sure to join us for that.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
We won't be as active in chat, I'm sure.
No, it's going to be maybe in between, like when we lose, maybe we can see what chat's saying. But oh my goodness, dude, there's no way I could try to read chat and play this game at the same time. There's just no way. It's not happening.
And you see how many words we mess up when we do it, because the pins, dude, the pins are so hard.
Yeah, those are
Look
tough.
How many pins I had. You didn't even get to see what I was seeing. You know,
it's insane.
It's so hard. Anyways, but cool. Keep an eye out for that. So we played a bunch of other things too. We played ProPutt, which is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Zine, cheers, man. Glad you're here. And awesome. ProPutt was a blast. I think that was right at our headsets dying, so we didn't get to play.
Yeah, mine was geeking out a little bit, and I think that was because my headset was so low. Like my battery was like almost all the way drained. It was just about to shut off, so I started getting like some crazy artifacting going on and stuff. But I haven't had that issue before. But yeah, ProPutt is a ton of fun, and that one I feel like, I mean, people have known about it because the beta's been out for a little while, and I don't know what the release date is, but I feel like that's going to be a big one on Quest.
For sure.
And my wife doesn't have the beta. I would love to play that with her, because I think she's he's really going to enjoy that, because I've actually told you, I've talked about actually putting a putt course in my backyard, because we talked about having some friends down and stuff, and you know, a lot of times we go putt with friends and all that, and I thought that would be really cool. But this is a great way to do it, especially you know, if some people are still in quarantine and stuff or whatever. It's awesome to be. I mean, putt's just a good family fun.
I like the fact that when you play multiplayer, so when you're playing with other people, you actually get to be like interactive with them. Like you're standing there on the course, you can go down and watch, you know, and all that stuff, or swing your club in their face. Until you go to hit it, it does make them go away. So you can't screw them to that point. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. It really, and it looks good visually, and it's sponsored by Topgolf now, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They came on board with it, so, and it does. It looks really polished, plays really well. It ran great for me. So
yeah, only issue I had, I'm pretty sure it was because of my battery dying, but I do have the mug shots up here on the screen too. If any newcomers not sure what's going on, those are people put those on our Discord, which we love to see, the mug shots.
But Virtual Chill in chat said maybe we could put the name of the games up when we're playing them. We could.
Yeah, I guess we could. I usually put the trailer up there. A lot of times when we're talking about one, but I guess that's not a bad idea, because I know I notice in chat a lot of times people ask what game are they talking about. I guess that is a good idea. Who said that? We might have to
Virtual VR.
Yeah, so we might have to start doing that. Yeah, I never thought about that, honestly, but yeah,
another step in the 100 steps we have to do. But
right. Let's talk about real quick about Link. The new update is now allowing you to use your Quest with PC to use PCVR. Before you had to have a Link cable that was at least USB 3, you know, and they had an official one. Now supposedly you can run with a USB 2.0 cable. You can use the charging cable. Pretty much any USB cable now you can run Link. And you actually tried it a little bit with Link 2.0.
I did. And I did it accidentally. I was just trying to look up the date real quick for ProPutt. Somebody was asking in chat. I don't know if there is an official, but there is a beta sign up, and I think I put it in the description, or it'll be down there after if not. So I ran across it, not even truly knowing. It came out that day, and everything updated, and I was in, and I was trying to stream stuff from the headset to the PC for recording purposes, for what you just saw with Spaceteam. And all of a sudden it kept trying to connect, like with Link. And I'm like, I have like a 15-foot USB extension, just a regular USB cord, and it's trying to connect. And I'm like, how is that possible? You know, just plugged into a regular USB port, 2.0. So
and you're like, I got on. You're like, dude, I don't know what is going on. And I was like, oh, dude, that's because they did the update, and you can use a regular USB cable for Link now. Yeah.
So it was kind of I stumbled across it even not knowing at the time. It was a little annoyance, but I figured out how to get around it. But yeah, it actually does. And it does work, and it worked flawlessly for me, even with a long extension. So
I mean, from what I was reading, people were saying, that there's really not much of a noticeable difference between using the official Link cable now and a USB 2, which kind of makes me mad, because I spent $80 on a freaking Link cable from Oculus. That is, there's no need. I mean, it is still nice because it's a long cable, it's thin, it's flexible, it's still a nice cable, but it's like, man, what was the point of doing that? If maybe they didn't know they were going to be able to do this when they released that, but it's like, what the heck was the point of making me spend $80 on that freaking cable?
And maybe their protocols got, more refined and faster and more compressed, whatever it is. But, when we look back to the last Oculus Connect, when they were like, you have to have a high speed one, and there wasn't even fast enough, so we're going to make one.
Right.
Those were their statements.
Yeah.
So why now is the backpedal? And they're also screwing themselves over, because they're not going to sell Link cables at all.
I wouldn't think so. I mean, there was already so many other options for a lot cheaper. But yeah, it just makes no sense to me. I mean, honestly, do their departments not? I don't think any of the departments inside Oculus, inside Facebook, none of them communicate with each other whatsoever of what they're planning to do. Or I don't know. It's just so weird. We've seen so many little things like that from Oculus, I feel like. But the one person that asked about ProPutt release date, on their official website, it just says coming soon. So I don't see an official release date from ProPutt themselves. So
nope. Yeah, I didn't either. I looked too. Yeah.
So Alyx VR said cash grab.
Okay.
So, question mark. And I don't know. I think it's all. I don't think they do it on purpose. I think it's like.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think it's just screw ups or not knowing what they're doing or what they're going to be planning to do. I don't know. But what were you going to say? Limba said.
He was saying that the encoding limits it to 150, which I do know, but I thought with Link cable they could up that, because the bandwidth that they can carry through that cable is,
I think a lot of the limitations are just headset itself. What the headset can.
Right.
is capable of. But
yeah, I don't
know. And some people are saying that this could possibly, possibly be leading up to some wireless streaming, official wireless streaming. If they're streamlining that process to get it to be able to run on a USB 2.0. They're obviously somehow sending either less information or something. So that opens up possibly the door to some wireless streaming. We know it's possible. I mean, people do it with virtual desktop and all that other stuff. It's just I don't know. The problem is, people's internet connections and all of that.
Well, and I think they want a certain quality. They want to make sure it's perfect. So people aren't like, oh, it's janky or it doesn't work or it cuts out or I get that. I understand that. But at the same time, we've got smaller companies doing it, no problem.
I'm wondering if this updated Quest, that we heard about, that's supposed to be coming, it was supposed to be coming into this year, possibly early next year now. I'm wondering if that is going to implement anything a little, some better wireless streaming, if it's going to become officially on that or something. Right. I don't know. I have no idea, but
I know.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, if I could get a Quest with a little bit better field of view, a little bit better, hertz and everything, you know what I mean? And then I can wirelessly stream from my PC and it's really good quality. That might be the way to go, especially if the next Quest or Quest Lite or whatever is going to be, more comfortable, lighter, everything else. And man, that might be a really good option. I don't know.
Not allowed calling it light. Got yelled at by VR Mang. I did.
Oh, did you? Oh, yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. But all right, what do you want to get into next here? Let's see. Let me look at my notes.
I don't know. We did all kinds of stuff this week. You forgot we played Hyperdash. We
did play Hyperdash, and Alyx VR has been talking about that like crazy.
Oh my gosh, it's been nuts. And at first I was like, and I had this discussion on our Discord with somebody, I don't like teleporting shooters, right? It just doesn't make sense to me because all of a sudden you're shooting at somebody and then they're gone, So I never liked them. But I can really get into this. And like I said before, it has that look and feel of like old Halo games to me.
Yeah.
And it really is a lot of fun with the rails and stuff. The teleporting actually works pretty good because you get this like dash like shadow that follows you. So you can
and
see
it's
where
also
they
not
go,
infinite.
basically.
It does run out. Like you only have so much energy. You can get power ups and stuff to do those boosts and stuff. So I mean, it's really good. We played for a while on Quest, and it's available on Sidequest. You can download it on Sidequest for free. But yeah, I was pretty impressed. I mean, it was a fun game, and I definitely look forward to getting in there and playing a little bit more.
I don't know. I like the only thing I didn't like, some of the caveats are where you grab the guns or the power-ups. I felt like you had to hold your hand in them too long, but I get it because if you would just breeze through them through movement, you wouldn't want to grab them probably.
Grab them.
Something like that, where I feel like if you just did like a grip press in them, maybe then it would grab it like you were grabbing it, but that's me.
Yeah, I do wish they had like a true team deathmatch too. I don't believe there's like from what we saw there was 2 game modes. I can't remember, like domination and something else or something, but it's kind of like capture the territory, and then the other one was kind of escort. Where you kind of I like the other one where you had to actually escort you had to get the cart to the other side or whatever. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Another one. Go ahead.
That was free, right, on SideQuest.
Yeah.
So. No reason to not try it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
For sure. And one thing I did want to mention just real quick is Tetris Effect. That it did come out on Oculus Quest. It's available on Quest now, which is pretty awesome. I haven't picked this one up yet because it is $30. I don't know how much I'll really play it. I'm a fan of Tetris. I like to actually play it on my phone. I really like Tetris, but people really like it. I mean, the atmospheric stuff that kind of goes on around you is pretty cool. I just don't know how much I would really play this on my Quest. I'm not sure, but it looks really cool, and it is a kind of a hefty price tag. I think it's $30.
Yeah,
but
it makes me just want to play Smush TV.
Yeah.
I mean, when I see this, that's all I can think about.
That's kind of a more intense way of playing Tetris, but this is more like kind of a chill out game, where you just sit back, and I might pick this up once I finish Pixel Rip 1995. I haven't finished that. I do want to go back into that, but maybe once I finish that, because that's kind of like a chill out game for me. Just sit down, play. You don't have to be up and moving around and all that stuff. But
I get that.
Yeah.
The next chill one that I would like to talk about is the RC game. Do we have that in here?
Oh, the RC plane game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. So I've been wanting, and what was it? Balsa, which was one of the developers from Kerbal Space Program. or Kerbal Space Program,
Yeah.
if I can get the initials right. And he started developing an RC game and kind of just went PC. He kind of dropped the VR and went solely PC. So he's working on it for that. We'll add VR later, I guess.
You were all excited about Balsa because
Yeah.
of the RC plane stuff, and it never, I don't know if it's going to come out for VR like you said, but.
Well, so for me, I'm a big RC guy. I've built drones for years, planes. So to get in and have something where you can see the depth and know how far away you are, it is amazing. And the practice you can get in and flying something before you actually get your hands on something and ruin a couple $100, $1,000 airplane or drone is great. And it looks like a ton of fun. It looks very well visually. And your controllers are kind of, you don't have that regular transmitter where it's one, you're split.
Yeah,
so you do get, but on a regular transmitter, you have 2 joysticks. So it's perfect for the controllers and stuff that we have. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool actually.
Yeah.
I mean, you get drones, helicopters, gas helicopters, all kinds of stuff. So it looks really cool.
Yeah, this one's actually available now. It's on sale right now for $17.99 on Steam. It works with HTC Vive, Oculus Rift, Valve Index.
Which I feel like is a little higher for somebody who isn't into this kind of stuff. But if you already are, I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer at that price. But,
right, yeah.
I mean, just for the experience and stuff. And it does look cool. It looks like there's an area, too, where you can, like, work on things, which I think they're kind of going to show here maybe. But there's some of the options and stuff. But
yeah, it seems like there's a lot of planes in there, too. Like, a lot of different things you can fly. Like, pretty good inventory of stuff.
Yep.
But... So I don't know. Is there any kind of is this just kind of like a sandbox kind of a game, or is there any kind of story mode? I think it's just sandbox, right?
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't know what they have planned added to it if they're planning on adding
Real
anything.
Flight competitor. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And that is what it looks like. But I think actually with Real Flight, if I'm not mistaken, I know they talked about it maybe, but of being able to plug in an actual transmitter.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm not sure, but I could be wrong on that. Don't quote me on that.
Yeah, for sure. But
cool game though.
Yeah,
I'm interested. I'm down for this. I love this kind of stuff.
This doesn't excite me as much as it does you. I haven't been the drone person or anything like that. I think it would be cool, but I know you've been excited for these kind of games way more than I have. But it would be cool to get in there and
I could just listen to some music, and do this for
just kind
hours,
of veg out and just fly around. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We were comparing hours on our games the other day, and you couldn't believe how many hours I had in like the racing sims and stuff. I think you had like 30 some hours, but I had like hundreds of hours, and it's
you had way more time in the racing sims, but like you said, you just kind of go in there sometimes, throw on some music, and you just lay down laps for hours.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Which I like them, but I don't get into them quite as much as you do. But
I get it. Chat's moving fast, man.
Yeah, no, we got a bunch of people in here. Limba, Alyx, PD.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
Robin Kester, Gaming Science Teacher, Gamertag VR, Aspen Darkfire. All kinds of and I saw some people talking about Tetris Effect, and somebody said it was a day one. Roger Dykin got it on PSVR, saw it on Quest, day one purchase for me. So I know there are some big fans of Tetris Effect, and I do need to get in there. Some people said the $30 price tag seems a little bit high, which I kind of agree. I mean, it was free. I don't know if you can still get it free on like the Epic Game Store or something. It was one of those things they try to get you into the Epic Game Store, you get it for free. But I don't know. I might have to pick it up. Might be a pickup after Pixel Rip.
Greg's VR was asking if there's pilot POV in this. Not that I saw, which that was your question too. I know with Balsa, he had talked about that, which I thought would have been amazing because he even had like little shooters built into it, like where you had some guns and you could battle in the sky. But no, I didn't see any POV on this, which is too bad.
Which, I mean, now you can fly drones and planes and stuff with almost like a little VR headset on, right? So, I mean, it would almost kind of be fitting you're doing that inside VR. So
yeah, with the FPV stuff though, you don't have any depth to it, because no cameras on board have dual lenses. So
why not? That seems like that would be way easier to fly like that, right?
It would be. They just don't have it yet. I don't know. It's probably pretty expensive to strap on a stereoscopic camera on a drone that you're probably going to crash. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just 2 cameras. Just space them out, and it can't be that expensive.
I get it.
Cameras are cheap.
You used to be able to do it with old GoPros, strap them together.
Yeah. I can't imagine it'd be that expensive, but hopefully, I mean, I'm sure that's coming. I'm sure somebody's going to do that. I mean, I have to imagine it'd be easier to fly those things around with stereoscopic view than just a flat, you can't tell how close you are to things or nothing, but.
Let's do it. I mean, I'm down, man. That'd be great. I got some drones we can strap them to.
Heck yeah. You should, actually. That'd be pretty cool.
Right, Jed.
Hook it up to your Quest, like Bluetooth it to your Oculus Quest.
Flight test.
Dude, that'd be sick.
I have, talked to some of those guys stuff. They actually live right beside me.
Who does?
The guys from Flight Test, they live right here. They bought the golf course right here. It's literally, I could drive there now.
Are you being serious? I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
I have no idea.
Yep. If anybody who's into drones and has gotten into that, the flight tests over the last couple of years, they've gotten huge. They've actually they bought an old golf course area. Then they bought a real golf course that went under. And they're doing a lot of work to it actually right now. So keep an eye on that. That's cool. If you're into drone stuff. I'm getting off topic. Anyways, all right.
The VR Mang said, in regards to the Quest Lite, sorry for raising the volume of my text last week. That's awesome.
Right?
So gaming science teacher said, my dad just got a drone you can pilot in VR, but it's only Google Cardboard compatible. Huh. And it's actually stereoscopic? That's pretty cool.
Well, that's what all the ones that I've seen, though, aren't stereoscopic.
Really?
Maybe it is.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Huh?
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be coming.
Yep.
So, yeah, people are saying they know that flight test is great. I love flight tests. I watch those guys. I'm totally out of the loop when it comes to totally out of the loop when it comes to the drone flight, whatever.
Yeah,
stuff.
I know.
I've watched you fly yours. That's about it.
I know. I was just out. Well, what was it yesterday? We had an Inspire 2, which somebody, I don't know if he'll be in chat or not today. A buddy of mine got an Inspire 2 with the let's see, which is the X5 RS camera on it. It's unbelievable. Ridiculous. Super cool. 2-person operator. I mean, it's legit drone, but yeah.
That's pretty
Anyways,
cool.
All right.
We need to make some sweet VR drone videos. So I'll go outside and play VR. You can fly your drone around me and get some like sweet cinematic stuff. That'd be sick.
Right? I know. You're a mess. Okay.
Awesome. Oh, we didn't even show the ProPutt trailer when we were talking about that. Whoops.
Oh, seriously?
Such a slacker.
You are today. You're all over the place.
I know, man.
I know.
Real. No doubt. But so do you want to get into the game announcement that we have? That's brand new. I feel like we should go ahead and talk about it. It's kind of big news. So I'm going to go ahead and play the trailer in the background if you want to run us through a little bit about it.
It does look actually pretty crispy. So as long as you're doing the right one. This is Swordsman VR. Yeah, no, you're good. And I didn't know if you were doing a picture or a video.
Oh, no, I do have a bunch of pictures of this one too.
Nice. Very cool.
Maybe.
But it is a story-driven game. But it is a combat first hand-to-hand person 1v1 combat game with like 100 different opponents or something like that. Something ridiculous. But it is in development right now. So this is all alpha footage. So take it with a grain of salt. Everything could change from here on out. But it does look great. And the one thing I asked him is like, I just need some real gameplay footage because that is what people want to see. And he definitely delivered with this. We do have some images that are renders and stuff, but it kind of really shows the opponents and stuff that you'll be facing. And there's some ridiculously scary looking guys too. And there's tons of power-ups with the swords and stuff. What did you say this looked like? You said you thought it was...
Blade and Sorcery a little bit.
Yeah, Blade and Sorcery. Yeah, kind of the same feel. But the detail in this looks incredible to me. It's so good. There's one where he plunges that sword like into the head and stuff. Yeah, kind of looks a little real. I forget where that... There you go. But he has the grabs, for the shields and stuff. The proximity, which is really cool. But it looks really good. We don't have a ton more gameplay footage other than what you're seeing here. But once Sean gets him in, I think he's working on getting some images and stuff.
I must have missed that. And I don't know if this is probably not going to be sized right. It wouldn't let me size it in the other one for some reason.
Okay.
So let me see.
People don't care. They just want to see that crispy footage.
Yeah.
But I should grab a... let's see, he's got, I don't know the release date on it. I want to say he said it was like June or July, something like that, or that could have been for a beta test as well. But the link for it is in the description. So join his Discord and keep an eye on it. It is in studio. And it does look really good. I know I don't get super into like sword games myself, but this one does look really crispy. So I don't know, man. If this is as good as it looks like from these images right here.
Yeah, this shows some of the world, some of the characters, some of the weapons and stuff like that. So basically, I don't know how I was working, so I don't know how much I might be repeating if you. I was trying to get this in here, but it says that it's a story-driven, physics-based medieval combat game. Features a variety of combat environments, over 100 enemy variations from 4 cultures. boss fights, dozens of weapons, shields, armors, customizable player progression system, and more. Our bottom line goal with this game was to give the player not only a sense of immersion with fancy physics-based weapons in combat, but to give them worthy and intelligent opponents, which that can make a big difference sometimes. Makes the fight feel real, and a progression system that lets them customize a character build that suits their playstyle. We're big fans of anything medieval and realistic. Medieval combat in VR is a dream come true. So,
but these outfits, like when it scrolls through the ones of like the guy and there's like the power-ups with the swords. So like if you beat certain people, you can get different, swords and stuff, which that one with the electricity lightning thing is crazy looking, which has to look amazing in VR.
Yeah, it looks
the
really,
detail
really
of
good.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks excellent.
Yep.
Really
it really does, which we will bring you as much as we can on this as soon as we get it.
This is pretty much all we've been allowed to show so far. This is I don't think this has been put out anywhere yet. He told us we could kind of have the exclusive on this.
Last night, I think he released the press kit for it.
Yeah. So I mean, it's pretty awesome. I mean, this is definitely something that I'm looking forward to playing, and I believe as far as we know, it's going to be a single player game. Hopefully, maybe he could get some multiplayer in there at some point. That'd be sick. But
did you grab the one image of the giant guy?
I got some images in here.
That's probably the one then.
This one?
Yeah, there you go.
It's kind of dark. Hopefully it shows up okay on here. It's a pretty dark image, but yeah, stuff looks, it looks awesome.
But like that is a boss. That guy looks nasty.
Yeah. And I mean, when you see that in VR, that huge guy towering over you in VR is something you can't experience anywhere else. You can't experience that on a flat game. Just that feeling of like, oh crap, this is not going to go good. I really like these images. Just kind of shows a lineup of some of the characters and stuff, and there's going to be a ton of them. So these are just a few that we grabbed to show, but it looks awesome. I mean, so far it's
that detail is crispy. Chris Richardson asked PC VR only. It is PC VR, but he's also working for PlayStation as well.
Yeah, hopefully a PSVR release as well. So yeah, it looks awesome. I'm excited.
Yep, and we will keep it coming as soon as we get information. We'll keep pushing it to you guys on the show. So,
and I think a plan is for this release this year, right? I believe summer 2020 is the plan for.
Yeah, I swore, and I could be wrong on this, so don't quote me. But I thought he said like June or July, but that could have been for an alpha or beta. I'm not sure. I don't remember that exactly, but
that's summertime to me.
Super cool, man. And there's literal backstories to this. I mean, he gave me a list of stuff. The Uton is what the characters are being called and your player is called and stuff. So there is a story to it. It is story driven, which is cool. A lot of people love that kind of stuff. I just want to stab somebody in the head like it shows in the video. That's a little gory, but the physics-based stuff, man, makes me want to do all that. So
I like the story though. I mean, I like the sandbox stuff, but sometimes after so long in a sandbox kind of game, if there's no story, and it's like, it just doesn't keep me coming back sometimes. I don't know. It has its place for sure. I love a sandbox game as well. But
that's Mad Wookie just said, how do you make a game like this and not want to fight your buddy? And that's exactly. Sean and I love to go at it with stuff like this. So so I get it. I agree. I'm the same way. But if a game is like quality enough and really good detail, enough of a story, and enough content for like customization and doing things, I think a single player game works great for something like this too.
And there's a place for single player games. I mean, there really is.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's. We're just the multiplayer people. We love having that option,
Agreed,
just like
man.
Half-Life Alyx, having an option to play co-op or multiplayer or something like that, is huge for us. But
again, that was another game. I was playing Half-Life Alyx again, all this past week, and I dove deep back into it again, and I did get to Jeff.
Yeah, and we still can't say too much, probably no spoilers, but I kept asking him because he was telling me his plan, and I finished this game the first week. I couldn't get enough, which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing at the same time, because now I just want to play more of it, but I'm like, I've already beat the game, so I still go in here and there, but you've kind of taken your time and spaced it out to kind of enjoy it, but...
And I do enjoy doing that. Like, I want to keep playing it, but I'll wait till like late at night and stuff and play for a 2-hour span, let's call it.
Yeah.
And I really get my fix of it. And then I think about it, for a week, and I'm excited to get back into it. I jump back in and it's all brand new again. So
yeah, and he kept telling me he was playing a little bit, and that was what I was gauging how far he was in the game. I said, "Have you met Jeff yet?" And he was like, "No." And so he finally met Jeff the other night. So that was how I kept knowing about how far he was in the game and stuff. But
at this point, Jeff is annoying to me. But hey,
you either love him or you hate him. Yeah, I don't know. He's interesting. I can't say much more. But let's go ahead and get into Half-Life Alyx because we're already talking about it.
Sure.
And they just released the freaking Half-Life Alyx workshop tools, which is absolutely amazing. Like, this is, I mean, to me, one of the best VR games ever made. I don't think too many people can argue that. I absolutely love Half-Life Alyx. And now to have the ability to have official support for modding and stuff is so good.
I just have to think what I'm going to make first. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to get in there. I mean, you've messed around with some Unreal stuff, made maps Pavlov and all that stuff. So I know it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and we might not see Tyler for a couple episodes. Sometimes when he dives into this stuff, he goes hard and he just disappears for a while and he's just focused. But
it's bad. I know, because I get this obsession with like, okay, I have to get this area done tonight and I have to work on this, or I have to get this lighting in, or I have to, it's just, it really does snowball, but it's a lot of fun because you can make whatever you can dream up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does. And I don't know Source 2. So for me, it'll be starting from scratch. And I don't know if it's easy, hard. If anybody has experience, please let me know in the comments. Because I do want to jump into it.
I'm also curious of who in here is going to be working on some mods too, because I know we have some really talented people that do all kinds of stuff that are in the chat and stuff. I know like Fluke Rogi and stuff messes around with some Blender and all that kind of stuff. I know Steve XM does. So I know there's people that are talented, that can do some stuff. So I'm really curious to see what people come up with. But
yeah, and Steven Sales was saying you can only make maps and no import of assets, which is true. You can only use the Valve assets. And I don't know to what extent they're allowing or not allowing, because people were using assets from older Valve stuff too.
So from what I heard, it's tons and tons of assets. It's a buttload of assets. And I'm sure somebody's going to get around that. I guarantee sooner or later somebody's going to do something, get that. Because I don't know the gist of all of this or how it's going to work, but I have to imagine people are going to get
I don't know. It'd be pretty tough to, probably. I don't know.
So you think it's going to be possible to get some kind of multiplayer co-op game out of this? I mean, it's got to be possible, right? It's got to be possible, and that's my hope. I mean, that's really what I hope for. Even if it's just a multiplayer horde mode, I mean, that's even fine with me. Something, just give me something to get in there with some people. That's what would really excite me, and hopefully that comes. But I mean, there's already mods on the official workshop that you can do and you can play, and I think some of those are ones from before this came out, because it just came out. So I think there was ones that where people were already starting to mod this without the official support, and I think they just uploaded it in there, and I just grabbed one of them.
The assets.
Yeah, I just grabbed one of them. That's a lightsaber mod, which looks really cool, and it's already kind of cool to have a lightsaber in there, but the ability to have like that force thing where you can throw it and you can grab it back. I mean, that looks really, really cool. So I mean, there's already horde modes. There's one that's just like a plain room with a piano in it where you can just go in and supposedly play the piano, which I haven't tried yet, but even that is cool. I mean, just the ability to do something like that is awesome. So
I know it does look cool. I really do want to try it. I just if it's just map design, I mean, I could probably bust something out decently quick. Now, I don't know how they're handling all these game modes and stuff that were being released beforehand. But see, that was just done in Source 2, so people were probably using other things. I don't know what the official workshop stuff will let you do. If it's just going in and screwing around and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll still
I
make
really don't
probably,
know. Alyx VR says 100% possible for multiplayer. So if that's true and it's 100% possible, then it's got to be somebody's going to do it. Then we're definitely going to get it. You know what I mean? If it is possible. So I hope so. That's going to be a dream come true. I mean, it could be endless games. I got really excited when what was it? What's the robot game that first came out? It's Oculus exclusive. Why can't I think of the name?
Robo Recall?
Yeah, Robo Recall. So when that came out,
yeah,
it had mods and it had like official support, and that was really exciting. And so people came out with some really cool stuff right off the bat, and then that seemed to die out pretty quick, and I didn't see like a whole lot of new stuff coming out. But I have to imagine a game like this is going to have some massive support for a long, long time. You know, I don't see mods dying out for this just because it's one of the most popular VR titles there is. So I mean, it's it's got to be insane. Yeah. People are got to do some crazy stuff.
Some people don't like doing all that workshop stuff though, but
if it's official support, it's usually pretty simple. Just like playing Pavlov. I mean, how many people play Pavlov with tons and tons of custom maps and game modes and all that kind of stuff? So I mean, as long as it's easy, I can see that people don't want to go the workaround route of doing it, with, side loading stuff, all that kind of stuff that gets more complicated. I don't love doing all that all the time either. Yeah. So if it's real easy and I just want to try out this, lightsaber mod, and I download it, jump in, try it out real quick, as long as it's easy, then that's cool for me and for a lot of.
But I do want to get in and try it. And if anybody has any ideas of what I should do, I haven't really thought too much in depth about it. But I definitely want to get in there. Coffee shop. That was, yeah, sure. We talked about that.
Coffee Box.
Yep.
May or may not.
I might be able to do something like that, but yeah, exactly.
Anakaze said, anyway, see Anton's comments on the Alyx Tools release. I didn't see that. I'm curious did you see that? I'm curious what Anton said.
No, but I usually follow him pretty closely on Twitter too. But
yeah, I didn't catch that, so I'm curious what he said. But,
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know he works pretty closely with the guys over there, so
yeah,
I'd be
he
curious
came out with that. What was it? That mod or the part of his game that had the guns and stuff from. It wasn't Half-Life. What was it from?
No.
Team Fortress or what? Or
yeah, Team Fortress.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And they gave him the rights to do that. So I'm curious. Now I'm curious to know what he said. I don't know what he said.
I know. Yeah. But, he's great to watch on Twitter. Yeah. Definitely look him up. He's got a ton of followers too.
Yeah, well, his game. I mean, he's got a big following for his game. H3
that game is still on the list, like the top list of VRLFG of like played games.
Yeah, people play it. People play it all the time.
And that's been out since what, 16? I think he released that. Like, it's incredible. It's great.
I'm trying to see what he put. I don't know if I.
We were watching VRLFG. Was it last night we were playing? To see like how many people were in each game. Yeah. It's amazing the amount of people that play Pavlov too. It's crazy because I want to go in there and I want to get our maps to work, but I don't know if they do at the moment. So somebody can figure that out. I don't know. I'm trying to re-download the game to see if they upload in, but I don't know. Maybe I needed to re-import them into the workshop or something.
Yeah, I don't know
what's
going on with that.
Yeah, it's called the workshop in the yard if you're looking or have them. I don't know, but
yeah,
I need to see if they work.
Yeah, it's true that those are fun. But man, Half-Life Alyx, I don't know. I don't think that hype train's ever gonna end for me. I just love the game so much. I'm gonna try out some of these mods this weekend.
I love the trip mines and stuff. Oh, they're so good. They're so easy for me, but I think it's just such a cool concept, that how they've thought of all these things in the game.
Little puzzle kind of things that they're not impossible. Some puzzles drive me crazy when they're like it's too hard, but none of them in that game were like so hard that you couldn't figure it out. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
I thought they did a really good job of balancing
challenging. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. But man,
it's so good. I love it.
Awesome.
I know. Yep, I agree.
Such good stuff. So what about all this hype around this Unreal Engine 5?
Right? It's pretty real. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, it's hard. They don't give us, a ton of like their big. I mean, they do give us some big things, but I would say the majority of it is probably lighting and particle effects.
Yeah, and some sound stuff. Some sound stuff sounds
detail.
Cool. Yeah.
The details and of objects, but see, that's natural kind of progression, except they're acting like you can use super high res stuff, multiple assets.
I mean, like millions and millions of triangles, and I mean, it's just some of the numbers they're throwing out there is insane, and they're saying all this is running on the PlayStation 5. So I mean, the hard thing with like these new things for the new engine upgrades and stuff is it seems like the videos always look ridiculous. Like you showed me one from like 6 years ago that I was like, holy crap, that looks insane. You're like, yeah, that was from 6 years ago. You know what I mean? So we see these things and then the game, I mean, obviously the game graphics and stuff get better, but it's not always as good as they make it look in some of these trailers, but it's obviously progression. I mean, like these are all like the little triangle particles and stuff that they were showing that part of the video. I mean, from what they're showing in this clip, it looks absolutely insane. And I'm curious to see how much of this is going to translate to VR? How much is VR going to be able to take advantage of? I mean, everything's going to translate into VR. It only helps us, and the more detail we can bring to assets that we can get closer to, in VR, the better. I think that makes everything ultimately 100 times better. We know, just like what we were playing Contractors, and we held the gun up to us, right, and has a holographic sight on it, and on the side of it. Yeah, EOTech has a label on it that says the warning for it has a laser, inside of it. And you can literally hold that up to your face and read the label that's only this big. It's tiny.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and that was on a Valve Index, but
right.
But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous.
those details just bring so much realism, even if you don't use them, even if you don't hold it up and try and read that, it doesn't matter. It's there and it looks good. Yeah.
And the lighting is ridiculous and what they're talking about in this trailer. And you can watch the whole thing. I think it's like a 10-minute video or something, and they explain some of it. They break it down. But the lighting is pretty, like, there's no baked lightings, and it's, So
they said going through here, people were saying, oh, you use it as a loading screen, to fade in and out of different areas. But they said it's not. They said this is not loading. There's nothing to do with that. Though I don't know. I mean, you're only running this size world. So if you're maxing it out at this level, you know what I mean? I don't know. But we'll see.
It'll be interesting. I mean, it's always cool to see these trailers and stuff of what, the future that is coming. It's awesome. And PlayStation 5, I'm super excited for. And if PlayStation 5 can do all this stuff, that's going to be insane. Right. I mean, we know graphics already on flat gaming are pretty ridiculous. So the fact that those are even getting better is pretty crazy. But
yeah, the detail in this though is incredible, and the lighting with all the rocks and like the shadows for each one. I mean, that stuff's crazy. Yeah. It is.
And it's dynamic, all dynamic lighting. And they said that they're doing a lot of stuff with the reverberation of sound and how it interacts. And that's
the
really
lighting
cool
stuff though. So I think they probably already showed it. Or maybe they haven't, but they turn the light up and down, right, in like the cave area, and the bounce lighting. So direct light coming in through a hole lights up that wall, and that reflection of that light lights up the rest of the room. And that stuff to me is what's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, the thing to me, like, that sounds so exciting, but it sounds so much more exciting to experience in VR because, like, even the sound, like when you're playing a flat game, it can have the most incredible sound ever, but you're not there. You know what I mean? Like when you're in VR and you're there and that sound is reacting like it really would, and the reverberations and the lighting and everything, like that's what makes it, you know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't quite understand. I mean, why you need this much detail and stuff on a flat game, I mean, it just makes so much sense to me for VR to just give you that realistic experience.
Part where the like cockroaches run away from the light, like that stuff. But to have this implemented in games, I mean, it takes massive AAA companies to do though, because the amount of work that has to go into this and funding and all of it is just astronomical. But would I love to see it? Absolutely. Do I think it's coming? Sure. I mean, it definitely is. I mean, we get games like Medal of Honor. We get big funded games now coming our way. So it's going to happen. Not yet, but be cool. Yeah, I'll be buying a PlayStation if they can put this into VR, though.
I'm probably buying a PlayStation either way for PSVR. Right. I might not buy it when it first comes out. Wait to see when PSVR release date is and stuff. But I mean, for sure, I can't wait to see what they do with PSVR too. Yep. It's going to be awesome. But it's still exciting to see that trailer. I mean, man, it looks freaking insane. So
I want to see something actually running though. Like the tech demos to me, like the one I sent you was of The Division.
Yeah.
For like 6 years ago when they demoed it, and it looked incredible, and I mean, The Division was very detailed in game, so I get it, but it never feels as good as it does in these tech demos. So I think it's good stuff, but it's just so hard to put it all into a game. But that's my thought on it.
Yeah. The Alyx URL said, I think Unreal Engine 5 and this next gen will cause a shift for most PC users to have SSDs as main storage, as I doubt this tech can stream assets fast enough from traditional hard drive. And that's one of the things they're touting about the PlayStation 5 is the SSD speeds and stuff like that. So I'm sure that's going to play a part in what they're able to do for sure, I think.
Yep.
But
it definitely does.
Man, it looks so good, though.
I know.
So good.
Target from my wallet. Yeah.
Sorry for that.
Isn't that horrible? All this stuff that comes out, it's like, oh man.
Yeah, it's just
somebody was saying on our Discord that they loved, I forget who it was, that they loved the new Mammut grip. So I do need to probably order another one of those. They said they're way more comfortable and stuff.
I want to get the new adapters for the index controllers too for the Mammut Apto, because they attach from the bottom now on the controllers. And I didn't love the way they attached to the index controllers before, how it was kind of a clamp, and it was really hard to get that clamp piece on and stuff. So I'm really curious to check that out.
It's a different feel when it's on the top too, because you're pulling them down. And I don't know why I like the feeling of pulling them off.
Yeah, and it's probably maybe a little bit because of what we're used to. We used gut stocks from the top for so long, but Yeah, and I did want to mention too, a little bit of unfortunate events, but we love playing virtual battlegrounds. We kind of got into that, and we tried to play that a bunch this past week, but the numbers have dropped significantly, which is one of the worst things about VR and multiplayer titles is they get that wave of people trying to play right off the bat, and then it just trickles off. So. Yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure we're going to jump in again, and hopefully there'll be some more people on, but they've still been doing some updates, but the player base has been down to like 14 people, 18 people. Super disappointing. I just wanted to throw
that out there, man. The attachments and stuff on guns and everything.
It's got a good start. They got a good start, so hopefully they can keep that momentum going somehow, but Population 1 coming, and it's coming very soon. That's all I can say. Well, kind of coming soon, but I'm not saying anything else. I might get in trouble.
Maybe
not until not until I get permissions, but we might have something soon, hopefully. But let's switch over to the movie theater real quick and talk about this game, the Eastern Edge.
Oh yeah,
and this looks pretty good. This is actually out now, and it's getting really good reviews. I'm gonna turn it up. Yeah, I'm gonna let this play.
Archangel 1, this is Archangel 2. Gabe, buddy, you read me?
I'm gonna drink coffee.
Mickey, I'm down. I've come down in the gorge that we were following. I'm okay, but the de Havilland, she's pretty banged up.
Hey, I'm seeing a lot of movement in the tree line just to the north of you. It's hard to tell because of the cover, but you seen any big game in the area?
Damn it, there's my gun. Empty. Gabe, why'd you never bother to reload your sidearm?
Gabe, come in, buddy. What the hell is that down there?
I've never seen anything like it. Whatever they are, they eat meat.
Keep calm, Gabe. You got plenty of shells. Just gotta keep your head.
It looks pretty good. I mean, and like we said, the reviews that are coming in are really positive. I think it has like almost all 5-star reviews right now. Not a ton of reviews yet. But I'm going to read about what it is a little bit. So it says the Eastern Edge, the fever dream survival shooter where you panic, load every round with your bare hands because death is only ever a fumbled bullet away. It says test your nerves and your gun skills without all the abstractions of the modern first-person shooter. No auto reloads, power-ups, or recharging health bars. So grab your realistic 1940s guns, grit your teeth, and survive to see the sunrise. So pretty cool.
Pretty cool though. It's like a stand your ground kind of game, you know.
Yeah.
That does look cool. I mean, it looks gorgeous. And again, this is another good one for somebody who isn't okay with locomotion and walking around somewhere because you're just staying here. Whether it be gets dark, gets a little scary at night. You have a flashlight. Yeah. This looks really cool, and it is out now, right?
Yeah, it's out now. Currently. It's $14.99. I know it's on the Oculus store. That's where I saw it. PC VR, obviously. But Anakaze just said, "Was that an antlion?" And it looked like it. That's what it looks like. I don't know what it is for sure, but yeah, I mean, it looks pretty cool, and it really just the reviews kind of caught our attention. And I haven't played this one yet. I might hop into this, but it looks pretty cool. I mean, it definitely looks like it has some potential in the reviews. If the reviews are true, and I think there's maybe like 6 or 7 of them, and they were all really good. So, I mean, the voice acting in the trailer, it sounds pretty decent. I mean, I don't think it's a huge budget game, but it definitely looks pretty decent, though.
Roger was saying wave shooter in 2020, no bueno. I mean, they have their place for people. I feel like experienced people in VR, wave shooters can be fun, but I feel like they're not one that really draws us back to maybe.
Right.
But for a shooter game that somebody that doesn't like hardcore shooters, I think it would be very,
and it's great for people starting out, maybe not for the hardcore people, and like I said, I don't know who the reviewers are and stuff, you know what I mean? But I don't know if these are newbie people to VR, but I mean, I don't know. They definitely have their place. I agree. I'm not the biggest fan of wave shooters, but this one looks halfway decent. And if the reviews are true, it might be something cool to look into.
We just talked about that too, about wave shooters and stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough thing, but if you do it right, you put a little fear factor into it too, with the darkness and the lights and stuff. They can be fun. Cause we used to play, what was it, Arizona Sunshine on Horde mode. Yeah. I mean, that's a wave shooter, and we had a blast playing that.
Yeah.
Because same thing, it got scary, and you got nervous, and you're trying to quickly reload and grab ammo, so it can be fun. But
yeah, they can be fun. I mean, and I think part of the reason Arizona Sunshine Horde was so fun was because of the multiplayer aspect. I think when you anything you can do like that when you got a group of people or a friend or whatever, I think adds to it quite a bit. But it looks interesting. And there's also this Wolf and Pigs Out for Vengeance. Have you seen this?
What? Is this the one I sent you?
Wolf and Pigs Out for Vengeance?
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first saw this, like the beginning of the trailer, I was like, what in the world is this? Like, it's just kind of a little cinematic thing. And I was like, what is the gameplay even going to be like? It doesn't even make sense to me, but it looks pretty good. It actually looks kind of like a To the Top, or what was that? Crap. They came out with 2 of them. That was like the swinging.
Looks like Angry Birds to me. Just from the pigs and stuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The character animations. But,
right, yeah.
Yeah, so it says when the notorious Pig Brothers gang invades the new world to build their compound, an unlikely protector vows to put an end to the pigs' greedy nature, destroying ways. But this looks cool, though. I mean, the swinging aspect, the grappling mechanic, that looks... I mean, we've seen games like that before, but they're a lot of fun. I mean, people usually always really enjoy that mechanic of swinging around. So it's...
the only movement, though, in this game is the grappling. There is no other movement other than that. But it's a cool concept. I mean, that's kind of fun. I love the zipline stuff that we've been doing in virtual Battlegrounds or the rails and Hyperdash. So it's a lot of fun to do stuff like that. Windlands, I mean, it's
that's what I was thinking of,
It's got a cool look to it, though. It's actually, for being something I wouldn't play, it might be something I'd try. So yeah, I don't know, not bad.
This
got a lot
out.
of stuff in it, though. Oh, is it out?
It's out on Steam. I don't know. I think is this supposed to be coming to Quest? I thought this was supposed to be coming to Quest. I have to look that up. But yeah, this is actually out on Steam now. I didn't realize it was out. $13.99, 30% discount. The special promotion offer ends May 20th.
Chris Richardson said love the art style, and that's what I like about it too. I just like the look of it. Yeah, that
cartoony, like, I don't know, it just looks really cool, and it works so well in VR. I mean, it's a lot usually easier to run and all that kind of stuff. So it looks awesome.
Cool though. Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on, and I'm curious to see look at the reviews on it too and see how it plays. If it is out.
Looks like cool. Review. There's only 3 reviews on Steam. 2 thumbs up, 1 thumbs down so far. So yeah.
I was reading a review, I forget what it was, before the show, and somebody didn't like it because they said the tracking was messed up.
For what?
The game. One of the games. I don't know what it was.
I don't remember what
it was.
And I'm like,
how can you give a game a bad review because your tracking sucks?
Right. Like, it shouldn't be the game's fault. It's probably whatever. It's probably your hardware, or you're doing something wrong. I'm doing it in the dark or something. I don't know.
Right. It's unbelievable.
It's pretty crazy.
Yep. All right, where are we at on time? We got a stream here, yo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, like we said, we're gonna play Spaceteam VR together after the show, which is gonna be absolutely ridiculous. I think it'll be a good time. I think people will probably like it.
I know.
Sorry if we can't see chat too much while we're playing, because it's just insane, and we're gonna look like fools because we're bumbling all these crazy words at each other.
If our audio is too loud, let us know, because
we might have to turn that down a little bit.
Oh my gosh,
we honestly might have to, because we get so loud. Yeah,
I go hard. I know.
So Paradise Decay said game was okay. I did see that he had like a half hour in the game. I think he said the game was okay. I haven't played that one, but
it looks cool. But yeah,
definitely the art style and stuff's pretty neat. But also make sure you sign up for the Gleam giveaway. I think that ends tomorrow. I don't even know how many people we've had sign up for Saints and Sinners, which is still one of my most favorite games. Love that game, absolutely.
Right. Oh, I know. Yeah, it is good. I haven't got back into that, though. I really just haven't had the time. I mean, I just love Half-Life Alyx so much.
I think I've went into it maybe once or twice for a little bit after Half-Life Alyx, but I mean, like I said, Half-Life Alyx has almost kind of hurt a lot of other games for me, because it's just, as a single player game, man, that game is so good.
Right. So. VR Sprag guy in chat said, "Can we make fun of you guys during the stream?"
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
We have anybody can say whatever they want to us.
That's pretty much the only reason we're going to stream it, so that people can make fun of us.
Yeah, exactly. There's no trying to make us look good in this. Okay, you will find us pronounce so many words wrong in this.
Because they're like ridiculous words that aren't even words, and you're just trying to glance at them real quick and looking at your board and yelling what it is, and oh my goodness, it's so ridiculous.
It is. It's so hardcore. Yeah, there's so many words and things, and It's stressful. It's very, very
Hopefully
stressful.
we can get it all running right for the stream and everything, get everything set up good. We're going to try to do it to where you can see both of our feeds at the same time, so you can see what both of us are yelling and which one of us is messing up by not doing what the person's telling them to do. And definitely test Tyler and I's communication skills a little bit.
I don't know if we'll be running live or not. I don't think we should. It'd be a little tricky too, probably.
You mean like with us on a green screen?
Yeah.
Oh, we probably could. We could probably do that. We did that with our that fighting game that we did. We did that. It shouldn't be too hard, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see. If I'm running chat and stuff though in VR, it gets a little dicey with everything. But
yeah, that's for sure. But we'll try it out. We're probably gonna, once we get off here, I'm gonna grab a quick snack and then we'll probably set that up and try to get that going. We'll probably stream for half hour, see how far we can go, see what level we can get to. It's gonna be ridiculous. We'll see what happens.
Keep an eye on our channel and stuff. You'll see it pop up.
Yeah.
But yeah, hope you join us and definitely make fun of us or give us tips or what we're doing wrong, because we haven't even, figured everything out for ourselves, because there's ways to repair things. There's ways to shoot stuff that's attacking
you got enemies that come in sometimes. You got to shoot them and take them down, and we don't always know what the priority. We don't know what the priority is. If it's better to do what it's telling you to do on the board, if you need to focus on taking out the enemies right away, I don't know. It gets chaotic. It starts out easy, and then it's like, holy crap, what is going on? It's insane. So
we'll try and explain it as we go too, just so you guys can see it. So
oh man, that's nuts.
Space Cadet finally made it to the show and in chat, which we are on our way out, but make sure to stay.
We'll be live here in a second. And Chris Richardson asked YouTube or Twitch. We'll be on YouTube, so we'll be live streaming it right here on this channel. So
hope to see you all there on YouTube.
Yeah, hope to see you all there. Should be a good time.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right, guys. Pleasure. Glad you're here. If you're listening to us, thanks for listening. If you're watching, glad you're here and live in chat. Appreciate it, guys. We will catch you later.
We will see you in Half-Life Alyx multiplayer. That's what we're going to see.
Oh, come on, man.
It's coming up.
Spaceteam. We're playing Spaceteam.
Oh, yeah, Spaceteam. All right.
There you go. All right, guys.
Later, everybody.
Peace.
See ya. We forgot to mention something. We're going to be on Between Realities tomorrow evening on their YouTube channel. They do a podcast as well, and we'll be on there with them just hanging out. And I don't even know what topics are or anything for tomorrow yet, what we're going to be talking about on there. It's going to be a surprise, but it is going to be awesome. That's with Alyx VR and Skiva, so that's going to be a good time. We were like, oh, crap, we forgot to mention that. We were typing in chat, and Tyler's like, just pop back on real quick.
Come on, little bonus, but
little bonus clip. All right, later again.
Okay, we're out. See you.